How many of you guys have ever felt like, had the experience of being in love? Or something close? So in that experience, when your heart was really open, what happened to time? And what happened to the physical boundaries between you and the person that you were relating to? And what was happening between you? There is this exchange that happens, and it's not you can talk for hours and maybe say something, maybe say nothing. Who remembers what was said? It was the experience of contact, alignment, and flow, that releases all the tensions in us for a brief period of time and allows for an expansion of the energy within us, which completely releases us from our experience of limiting physical conditions and limiting emotional conditions. And living in that state of, being in love, except that instead of being in love with somebody else, being in love with life, lifts us to a place within ourselves where we begin to have a completely different view of our physical body and the physical world it moves around in, and a completely deeper understanding of what this physical body and its presence in this physical place is about, so that we can very clearly and with great focus go about cultivating ourselves in the deepest possible way to live a life, a life that is rooted in the circumstance that we were initially born in, but recreated, reborn in a totally transcendent way that allows us to be who we are and yet to realize, a creative power within us that is truly profound and has the capacity to continuously breathe new life into us, continuously manifest beauty from within us, which rolls out and changes the whole field of our experience, and which continuously has the capacity to support our ever more refined realization of the nature of the ultimate reality. So that there's no more, every day is another interesting experience, but there is, and there may be, some painful changes involved in life for all of us still, but every day is exciting, it's interesting, it's never boring, it is always, whatever else it is always nourishing and delicious and inspiring and challenging and wonderful, wondrous. So the Tantras would say the culmination of the discussion that has been going on in India for about 6,500 years, which we ourselves here at the Movement Center are constantly in consideration of, really says that the mind is controlled not by willing it to be quiet, but by coming to the awareness of its own energetic essence and unfolding that energy, which is the mind. We release it from its limited, subject, object, circumstance, to manifest its fullest potential and its fullest state in front of our own eyes, as universal awakened mind, universal consciousness. Coming to the experience of this extraordinary possibility which is available from within you for each of you is, in my view, the only reason that we're in this world. It's the only effort that we can make, which in the making of the effort will give us back more energy than we put into it. Every other thing you can possibly do with your life is going to take energy from you and give you back less. Every job you're ever going to, as an example, every job you're ever going to have, however much money you make at it, somebody else is making more money on your effort than you are. That's called the game of life. I have this riff that I do on the game of life. And simply put, I won't go into the whole riff, I'll just tell you one thing. The game of life has one rule. And that rule is, you play, you lose. That's the rule. And it is only when we come to the understanding of the profound beauty and abundance that is present within us, and we begin to make the simple effort every day, to make contact with that profound abundance from within us, that we really begin to take charge of our own life, transcend our own limitations, and begin to have an experience that really is the beginning of the unfoldment of an unimaginable possibility that is present from inside us. So last week I said I'd talk about the energetic mechanism, and I have. That energy is in each of you. You know, the practice that we do here is the awakening of and the circulation of that energy, which should teach us about ourselves and teach us about one another and ultimately teach us about the whole universe. There's nothing more important than that as far as I'm concerned, and I'm a lot older than most of you, so I have some experience. And in whatever way it is that you are called to pursue the realization of your own ultimate creative potential, whatever way that is, you know, I sincerely wish you well. And you know that, you know, the whole reason this building and this community exists is to support you in whatever way we can in your endeavor.